Good day everyone, I'm Franzel Monique Banilia, one of the reporters of Module 2 Types of Print Communication Materials, particularly leaflets. So with the digital advancements, materials are seemingly vanishing. Do you believe that? Sometimes they are disregarded and categorized as old-fashioned and ineffective. But as long as paper use continues, leaflets will remain relevant and serve as efficient advertising or marketing tools. They are practical and potent marketing tool that is affordable, concise, and cost-effective. But the question is, are leaflets still effective and relevant in today's digital age, especially now that we can disseminate information on social media? So the objectives for this discussion include the definition of a leaflet, different ways of leaflet folding styles, and we will also discuss the general tips and pointers for constructing the leaflet. Now, let us first define a leaflet. So what is a leaflet? A leaflet is a single sheet of paper containing highly illustrated information on one topic. It has a variety of purposes such as to urge, tell, advise, instruct, warn, inform, or explain, which it must achieve in a small space with a few words and illustration. This type of materials are often distributed in public places, door to door, or hand to hand to raise awareness about an issue, campaign, or service. Unlike any other communication materials, leaflets can be folded in different styles. The paper usually is 8.5 by 11 inches and it can be folded in a number of ways. The first one, the right angle fold, also called the French fold. And this type of folding consists of folding leaflets in half horizontally and then once again in half, but this time vertically. Since leaflets are printed on both sides of the paper, you get 8 panels or pages to work with while providing the readers with the desired information. It is folded like a greeting card. The next type of fold is a concertina or accordion fold. A concertina folded leaflet, also known as accordion, zigzag, or the Z fold. It resembles Z or M or zigzags. The third one is a gatefold, also known as window fold. And this type of leaflet will have two parallel folds. The left and the right hand pages are folded inward so that they meet in the middle. And the fourth one is a parallel fold. This type of folding consists of folding leaflets in half and then once again in half. Since leaflets are printed on both sides, you have 8 panels to provide the necessary information. How do we create leaflets? A leaflet provides a sizable surface for printing various types of content. Generally speaking, a leaflet is best used when you want to convey a lot of information to the reader clearly. It is frequently used to disseminate information, but it is also used extensively to advertise events and new products and services. Instead of just drawing readers' attention, a leaflet aims to go deeper into a specific topic. So let's talk about the general tips for constructing the leaflet. Number 1, the leaflet can be likened to a series of pages or panels joined together. Each page or panel should be able to stand on its own. Each panel should be capable of independently conveying its own piece of information as the leaflet is composed of multiple panels or pages. And this guarantees the reader will still acquire a basic understanding of the content even if they only glance at one section. For example, here's a sample design from the Department of Agriculture about the African swine fever. So as we can see, each panel conveys its message. First panel focuses on the signs, and the second concentrates on the symptoms, and the last panel tackles the management of ASF. Number 2, pay special attention to the cover. It should be attractive with eye-catching visuals and an interesting title. The cover is the first thing the reader will see, so it must capture the attention immediately. You only get one chance to make a first impression with the leaflet. How can we achieve this? By choosing a title that captures the essence of the leaflet and is attention-grabbing. You may start with a catchy heading or rhetorical questions. And a good headline will make the reader curious or promise a benefit. The goal is to make the reader want to open the leaflet and learn more. Here's a sample print material from DEVC about nutrient management. Let us focus on the title. Tipid ka sa abonong swak. Maaring makatipid ng 2,000 to 4,000 bawat hektarya. Leaflets promoted the abonong swak where farmers can save up to 4,000 pesos per hectare by adopting the balanced fertilization strategy. When farmers would learn that they can lower their farming expenses, I believe that they would want to know more about this initiative, right? And 2,000 to 4,000 pesos is a big help to them. From there, we can grab readers' attention when we present them how this material would benefit them. The third one, the first panel after the cover should give the reader information about how the information contained in the leaflet can help them. Don't give information that won't interest the reader. So after the cover, the first panel should quickly tell the reader why the content matters to them. It should answer the question, what's in it for me? Or what can I benefit from this material? We have to avoid general or irrelevant information as it could make the reader lose interest before even getting to the main content. Here's another example from DOST Region 1 about CEST, or the Community Empowerment Through Science and Technology. After we viewed the cover, it made us curious what CES is all about, right? So let's look at the first panel. DOST provided information what CES is. It then leads us to the next information, which is who are the beneficiaries of the CES, what are the interventions, and how the program works. So basically, only the relevant information was presented. Number 4, do not overload the reader with too much information such as the text or visuals. We have to focus on a limited area or aspect only. We have to keep this general rule, keep it simple, less is more. A single panel should not have too much text or too many images because this could overwhelm the reader. Visuals should not compete with the text. Utilize them only to reinforce important points. Here's another sample leaflet from the aphid rice. So as we can see, the cover of the leaflet shows various insect pests and diseases of rice plants. So when this material is handed out, its target audience, the farmers, they would already know that these insect pests and diseases were also present in their rice fields one time or a recurring problem to them. The visuals alone would now direct the attention of the farmers to read the material. Let us look at the content. Specific or common pests and diseases are only presented in the leaflet, given that it can't provide all the information on all the pests and diseases that farmers encounter since the leaflet has only limited space. The idea is to not overwhelm the reader with too much text and images. The fifth tip, later parts should give the rest of the important information and should be highly illustrated to maintain the reader's interest. The text should be written in simple, non-technical language and should contain interesting information that your reader can relate to. We have to avoid jargon and excessively technical language unless necessary and your audience understand it. Let's look at the print material of DSWD Caraga. The language was localized in Cebuano dialect. The material is specifically intended to Cebuanos as they would easily understand it. And the last one. The last panel usually contains references to where readers can get more information about the topic as well as a list of credits and acknowledgements. So the last panel should serve as a conclusion, outlining the next steps for readers interested in learning more. You can include here the contact information, the address, website links that direct readers to additional resources. Here's a sample leaflet of the aphid rice. Let us look at the content of the last panel. We can find here the information on the different branch and satellite stations of the aphid rice, contact information, the website links, and also their social media accounts. Pointers for writing the leaflet. Before writing the text, plan how you want the leaflet to look. Think about its form, size, shape, color, and visuals. This will help you determine the available space for the text and how to arrange it. The goal is to have a balance between text and visuals. The reader should not feel overwhelmed by an excessive amount of text or images when looking at a well-designed leaflet. Number 2. Write an outline and make sure ideas are logically arranged. You have to present ideas in short and easy parts. Arrange your information in a manner that smoothly leads the reader through the leaflet. Condense the information from paragraphs to sentences to phrases, then finally to points. Number 3. Use words that are familiar to the reader. Unlike other types of materials, most leaflets are meant for general audiences, and this approach helps engage readers and makes the content more relatable and accessible. Number 4. End the material by summarizing the information with a concise statement. This would help reinforce the key message and give the reader a clear understanding of the core information. And the last pointer, do not forget to provide pertinent information such as contact information and basic information about the organization producing the leaflet. This would lend credibility to the content and makes it easier for readers to follow up if they need more information. So to summarize, how effective are leaflets? based on the Door Drop Report 2022 of Data and Marketing Association, would reveal that 89% of consumers remember receiving a door drop mailing more than any other marketing channel, and it has a powerful place in people's lives, with 45% keeping leaflets on a pinboard or in the kitchen drawer. We have just learned that while digital media like the radio, TV, and internet dominates, print media can still stand out because of its permanence and wide distribution. Not everything is newsworthy. Not everyone will keep their interest in all communication materials. There is just a specific target audience for each communication instrument. To make the story appealing and interesting, newsworthy issues must have the value of prominence, proximity, oddity or novelty, significance, impact or consequence, conflict, suspense, human interest, progress, or humor. There are also basic types of news stories, the straight news or a feature story. And straight news stories are more direct to the point and are usually written using the inverted pyramid. Features are more creative and less formal. We have also learned various print media aspects such as newsletter, reports, abstracts, and leaflets. And newsletters usually serve the interests of a specific group or organization. This is usually presented in the form of straight news articles, news briefs, or feature articles. Reports are more often than not work-related technical documents meant to help decision makers become more informed about a particular issue. And abstracts are document surrogates that serve as representatives of the original document. And lastly, leaflets are single sheets of paper that contain highly illustrated information on one topic. I hope that this presentation was able to give you a general overview of the structure of some common print materials used to disseminate developmental images.